We often struggle with globalization as U.S. manufacturers seem to send every job they can overseas as a way to get the lowest possible wage. This has created both challenges and opportunities for the distribution industry, as global logistics and distribution have become not only necessary parts of the supply chain, but major sources of profit enhancement when properly managed. The question is, as globalization advances and technology grows in areas like supermaterials, robotics, and communications, what will happen to the global supply chain and the distribution needs of manufacturers and consumers? Let's take a look at this on the Beaman report for February 19, 2015. Remember the good old days? Managing the supply chain and distribution system meant calling a friend on the phone saying, "Hey, I need a dozen widgets by next Thursday." With the advent of technology and the rapid globalization that's occurred, those days are of course gone forever. Just-in-time inventory, logistics to plan for overseas shipments, and a need to understand layer upon layer of various government regulations has created a sea change in the industry over the last 30 years. One that has taken hold and helped support the enormous growth of multinational operations. The question, however, isn't what has been. The question we always seek to understand is what will be. And in supply chain management and distribution, the what will be needs to take a hard look at globalization, trade relations, and manufacturing technology, among other things. Let's take a look at two futuristic things that bring home quickly the changes we're encountering. First, the issue that took manufacturers to distant lands was labor. Labor costs, labor regulations, and labor problems. Companies couldn't help but seek the lowest cost production source. With that past understood, it is not possible today to see the enormous strides made in technology, with robots especially, that calls into question whether or not that past idea is still valid, that foreign lands have cheap labor. Robots, of course, don't take vacations, they don't have disputes, and on down the line. So technology will begin over the next decades to allow for manufacturing to repatriate back to America closer to the end consumer. When robotics are combined with advanced 3D printing technology, the ability of manufacturers to run leaner and more efficient smaller plants closer to the end distribution will become viable and even preferred. So supply changes and distribution processes will shorten their distances over which they have to manage things, but increase complexity in the dimension of smaller facilities to support. The second key event is the growing trend toward large trade pacts like the Joint Pacific Partnership and the European Union. I use those two intentionally because I think the North American Free Trade Agreement will become more aligned with these two pacts than it has been in the past. Canada, the United States, Mexico, and all of Central America make more sense as a joint trading partnership than does Europe with its enormously dysfunctional past. Now, there are clearly obstacles in front of this. The Mexican cartels come to mind. But just as we're entering the Joint Pacific Partnership to expand free trade in the Far East, so will we continue to move down a path to freer trade within the Western Hemisphere. The bottom line, supply management and distribution technology and processes will have to become ever increasingly nimble, more and more using advanced strategic resource management and more advanced project management techniques to compete.